Hey folks, Alex, lead gunsmith at Empire Arms here with Steve from Silentium. We're going to do a little overview of Silentium suppressors today, different models, different calibers, and an upcoming sale that'll be available to the public coming soon for Black Friday. We're going to have Steve from Silentium go through his different suppressor models that he sells on his website and different models and why you may want models for different guns. So Steve?
So this is the MG10, this is the flagship can. This is 8.6 inches long. It weighs about 18 to 19 ounces depending on the bore. They all have the Rex QD receivers in them today, so I can show you how fast it can attach and detach. This is an MGX, this is an 8-baffle 264 can. We'll demo this today on the machine gun. And then this is the standard MG7. This is our K can. This is coming in at about 11.9 ounces as you see it here. And this is in 224 aperture for the 5.56 machine gun.
Guys, all these cans are available in any bore from 22 cal all the way up to 458. And if you go with a MGX version such as this 8-baffle here, you can also choose different if you want a 7mm bore, 6mm, and so on. Really customize what you want from 3 baffles to 12 baffles. So you can really tune it to your system at what you'd want. I personally have this same can on my competition gun, and it is a sweetheart.
And that seems to be the perfect size for 6.5 all the way down to 224.
So inside of the models, we got the MG7 at Empire Arms. We really recommend these suppressors for anything 308 base cases, so 308, 6.5, 260, all the way down. Gives good suppression, keeps a compact package. Anything really up from there into 270, 30-06, 300 Win Mag, 7 Mag, PRCs. Anything bigger, we really recommend folks to go with an MG10 model or do an MGX to get that little bit more suppression. Now, out hunting, you can get away with an MG7. It's gonna take the crack out, but it's not gonna be as comfortable shooting at the bench or at the range with a bunch of hard surfaces around. I mean,
or shooting all day long in positional matches or anything else.
Unless you're already deaf, then it doesn't really matter.
That doesn't matter. Which is why my can sounds so good, because I'm partially deaf too. So.
Exactly. Everything sounds good when you're partially deaf. So with this, we have some pistol models here though too, Steve. You want to go a rundown on those?
So this is one of the pistol cans that I just have on a QD mount, the Rex QD mount. So it pops on and off. And this is a submachine gun. We'll show you that here in a little bit. And then this is the new FN 510, the 10mm, and then this is the 45 caliber can that's on a booster system, so it will it'll cycle.
So Steve, what is a booster system and why is it needed on certain guns and not other guns?
So the booster system, as you can see, this barrel tilts. So on all tilt barrel handguns, as the action cycles back, the booster the affectionate name is a linear inertial decoupler. And what it does is the can, when it's pressurized, pushes out, if you can see that a little bit. And then as it smacks back, it knocks the slide out of battery so that it can cycle.
So simple marine terms, it creates more recoil so the can doesn't disrupt the cycle.
Momentary impulse to get that action going.
Okay. And then on the back end of these cans, we have your QD. The back of these is the standard 1 3/8 by 24, or 1.375 by some other people.
It's the industry hub standard.
Hub standard.
They call it hub.
So folks that want to run different QDs besides the Rex QD, they have the ability to. So with that, if they do run different QDs, does that affect anything with the suppressor?
No, sometimes different. Like in this QD actually knocks about half a decibel off. So it actually enhances sound performance. So some of the other devices may or may not do that, and you have to be careful, as always, with alignment, because there's been kind of a spat of baffle strikes in the recent past, mainly due to QDs from other manufacturers that have come loose, and now there's some manufacturers making QD mounts for the other manufacturers' QD receivers, and so there's a lot of tolerance stacking going on. So always check your alignment. Use a precision bore rod of some kind so you can actually check your alignment before you go lighting them off and having baffle strikes.
And with that, if you don't have that, reach out to your local gunsmith or gun shop.
Yeah.
They should be able to help you. If you ever need anything threaded, if you want to go over that, Steve, I know we've talked ad nauseum about thread pitches for guns,
Yeah.
what you recommend, what you don't recommend.
Yeah, don't put a half 28 muzzle thread on like a 28 nozzler. That's bad. But your gunsmith will be able to work through that with you.
So with that, some gunsmiths, myself included, we may have to take an inch off of a barrel. Guys, that's not going to hurt your performance of your rifle. If you start taking 3-4 inches off because you're running an itty bitty pencil barrel, it is what it is to put a suppressor on it. Last thing you want is to be on that once in a lifetime sheep hunt or moose hunt, and that round launches your suppressor downrange, you miss your animal and your suppressor's missing. That's a really fun day to call the ATF. All right?
It's never a fun day to call the ATF.
Never, never. Just don't call them.
Okay.
So with that, Steve,
We can do some shooting now.
Let's do some shooting.
Run our mouths too much. Let's do some shooting.
All right, folks, this here is a one-off MG10 with a 9mm bore running the Silentium QD. So my barrel's actually recessed under here. We did a special run on this just to slip it inside the handguard, get it indicated on the points, push down, give it a turn till it clicks. It is ready to rock and roll then. We got some Fiocchi 158 subs in here. With this, it's actually a lot quieter than you may hear just because on this action, that bolt is slapping forward on that barrel and you'll hear a schwack from just the metal hitting metal, but the actual shot is pretty dang quiet. Let's give her a shot.
Sounds
Minimal
like a
gas in the
paintball.
face. All that noise is just this bolt coming home, as you can hear there, in a faster motion. Steve here has got a specially built CZ Scorpion that he's gonna take and run some rounds through and outpace me with trigger pull.
So a few of you have seen this particular assembly before. This is a Seg H pistol can with the Rex QD. I've used this in a couple other videos. It happens to be one of my favorites. And the cycle rate on this is actually pretty decent. It runs pretty darn well.
All right, folks, this is a 5.56 AK from Zastava we built up in the shop here. SLR 4-end on it, hollow sun red dot, running a Streamlight. This gun, we actually put a K&S adjustable piston in. Anyone gonna want to suppress any sort of AK style platform, AKs, Galils, you do want to take and put an adjustable piston in. This thing without it, put a lot of gas back in my face. Still very quiet without ears, but that adjustable piston in there tuned it back to where this thing will just cycle like a sewing machine. We just got some 62 grain ammo loaded up in here, some arms core. Gonna do some shots down range, see how quiet it is. We note this to be about like a roofing nailer for how quiet this thing is. It's just a joy. Even as a lefty, I have a little bit of gas in the face. If we tune this anymore though, that thing will not run just with this piston system in this AK, but just a joy to shoot. All right, Steve and I are gonna do a little 1-for-1 shot comparing a 10-inch 5.56 AK with an adjustable piston in it with a MG7 and 224 to his PWS.
It's a piston driven upper, it's a 16-inch, and then this is the new Gen 9 MG7 in 224.
So 1-for-1.
1-for-1.
Okay.
You start.
All right, first shot.
Oh.
God, that can is quiet.
Wow, that was fucking quiet, man.
All right, setting.
I'll take it.
I'd say it's pretty comparable. I got a little bit of port pop, but they're pretty
Right
dang
on.
close, at least for me on this side of you. But they sound pretty dang good.
Yeah, they do.
Now let's see who can finish the mag first. Ready?
Yep.
Go.
You win.
I only had 5 rounds left.
Let's cool it off. That's too much fun, man. I gotta shoot the snow more. So this right here is an MGX with their XQD, and I don't know if you can see in there or not if there's enough light, but this is a brand new virgin can. And we're gonna run a 60 round Surefire mag through this and then show you what that first baffle looks like. We're gonna do it on full auto, because I know there's some people out there who don't think the 17.4 stainless steel, when it's properly heat treated, can stand up to that kind of rate of fire. So virgin can, hasn't been shot yet, it's not hot. We're gonna do 60 rounds. This is all 55 grain Winchester, Lake City. Now I'm not gonna touch that right now, but in a few minutes you'll get to see inside that chamber and see whether or not that 17.4 can stand up to that kind of punishment. 60 rounds. Those Surefire mags work very well. So that was 60 rounds, full auto, out of a 16-inch barrel, and that's with the Rex QD. And I showed you what the Virgin first baffle looked like, and then this is after 60 rounds of full auto. You can still hear the snow popping on it. It's still pretty hot. So the Rex QD mount point is a fantastic investment if you have multiple cans, multiple hosts, so you can move your cans around. This is our 30 caliber shop can, and you line up the lugs, pass the lugs right to the clutch, and you just push it back against the clutch, and then rotate it until you hear that click. Once that click's there, it's locked on there, and it's not going anywhere. From here, on more precision rifles, you can tighten down the lock ring, so that way you don't inadvertently bump it, or it doesn't move, it stays locked in place. But as far as switching out goes, it couldn't be any simpler. Just like that. And this will also work under handguards. So if your handguards have the clearance, you can move this. This is 1.5 inches OD. You can move that under the handguard, and then you can actually push your can under the handguard and use the QD.
All right, guys, that is the rundown of the Silentium suppressors. If you have any questions on it, email Steve here at
sales@rexsilentium.com,
or reach out to your local dealer, Empire Arms. We're right here in Manhattan, just about 30 minutes inside of Bozeman. We stock pretty much every model, and we sell his cans.
Yeah,
like
you're
crazy.
The biggest. Ted's the biggest dealer in Montana.
We believe in his product. To be honest, I have about 25 to 30 suppressors, and over half of them are his. Not even for the fact that I like the guy, but he makes a good product. I do like him a lot, though. I can't lie about that. But, you know, working at the shop, we do try other suppressors. You know, I have Thunder Beast, I have Silencer Co., I have Elite Iron. You know, get out, try other suppressors, but for the money, and not saying that it's a cheap investment, but for the money, we believe you can't beat a Silentium suppressor for the durability, the customer service, and really the warranty, which we actually
that's it. It's a no bullshit warranty. So if you wreck it, we fix it. It's baked into the cake.
You do need to get him good beer or good whiskey.
If you're local, you do have to bring me a beer. You'll go to the top of the stack if you do that. But typically, I'm only doing like 5 repairs a month, so the stack's not that deep. But bring me beer, and I'll put you first in line. Hey, tell Ted thanks for having me out and everything, and thank you for having me out. I appreciate it, brother. So,
Steve does have a upcoming Black Friday sale coming up. Gonna go live, I believe, the week of Black Friday.
Yep.
And then at Empire Arms, we started our sale early a little bit. Can't give out any pricing, but give us a call at the shop, stop them by, and we can get you hooked up. Thanks.